Good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is week 15 of the RackMe Football Podcast. This is me, the Z-Man, Chad Zumock, your host. Joining me, the great Tony Mazer from the Check Your Brain podcast, and two very special guests, Kentucky Max and Gladwell Ape.
Somebody ring the doorbell just as you hit record.
Monkeying around. This guy's not monkeying around.
Kentucky Max is definitely not monkeying around.
Not today. That's Gladwell's dog. That's his companion. That's his right-hand dog. I was going to say man.
It's the only man I have no problems making out with all day.
Jesus Christ. How you doing, Gladwell, from the Almost Nowhere podcast? When can we suspect a new episode with Johnny Nine Lives?
They come out very infrequently, which is the way we like it. And, just be on your toes. Be ready for it.
You got to be ready.
That's it.
Tony Mazer, what a week in football. Holy shit. Did you see the Baker Mayfield drive?
I did see it. It was nice to see. It was nice to look at, especially as the Browns ended up tanking and sucking against the Cincinnati Bengals. Browns are still in the hunt, allegedly, even though they're 5-8 right now.
Deshaun Watson looks like a quarterback who hasn't played in the NFL for 3 years. That's what he looks like.
Don't say that to a couple of the diehards because they think Deshaun Watson, just wait till next year. This Browns team is going to go places because Deshaun, he's shaking off the rust. He's got him like, did we watch the same game? They basically had 3 points for much of the game, scored a bullshit late touchdown, and couldn't do anything on offense, couldn't do anything. Oh, that's just rust. No one was expecting anything this year. Okay, here's what I was expecting is that they were going to get a quarterback that had 24 sexual assault allegations against him and then still ended up playing this year. So
what's going to be interesting is if Deshaun Watson flops in Cleveland, which I'm predicting it's going to be a nightmare because the way it was handled, it's setting up for the perfect Browns nightmare. And I have a feeling Baker Mayfield going into LA, big market team. Granted, he's replacing Matthew Stafford for right now. But what if he takes him to the playoffs and it's the big fuck you that I wanted in Carolina, but in Los Angeles?
That'd be fun. I'd love to see it, but you're going to have more excuses. It's like they have their talking points that Baker bad, Deshaun good. It's like, yeah, Deshaun went up to, because again, we always talk about with Deshaun Watson. It's not like he went to an actual Yankee cranky shop and, got a little massage for a half hour and then they tugged on his dick until he came. It was, he went to your normal masseuse who's not supposed to do that. This is a professional job and felt, hey, let's see if I can get her to do this. Here, put a little of this on there. And sometimes they did it. Sometimes they weren't able to, and he forced them to. It's like that's why it was considered rape. And so, yeah, if it doesn't work out for the Browns, they're fucked for years, for a long time, because they gave away a lot of draft picks, and they're going to have to look in terms of probably trading a Nick Chubb or a Myles Garrett if it doesn't work out, so they can get some more draft picks and some more youth.
Hey, guys. Gladwell, someone's at the door right now.
At your door or my door?
Well, technically your door, but my door today.
Is it the mailman?
I don't know. Can you carry this? I'm going to go peek through the peephole.
All right, I'll hang out with Tony.
Okay, hold on.
Talk about Hoobastank.
Yeah, look through the peephole like it's Aaron Andrews in the hotel room. Hoobastank, yes, indeed. Crawling in the dark.
I have no idea. I love how this has already got off to a great start. My dog's barking at the beginning. He's got people at his door.
Ken's not even here. Yeah, why not? I got to work tonight and I'm drinking right now, so why not? Let's have us a time.
Oh, right.
By the way, go see us if you're in the Northeast Ohio area coming up in just under 2 weeks after Christmas, 26th and 27th. Chad and I at the Funny Stop Comedy Club in the beautiful, incomparable, bustling metropolis that is Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, as Chad's wearing the Funny Stop shirt right now. So go see us on the 26th, 27th. It's Chad's second homecoming. And
Tony's frozen. Who's producing this show? Teamster Tim?
We're off to a great start.
So who was it?
I think it was a UPS guy, but I don't know. It just freaks me out when someone comes over here. It's like that Sebastian Maniscalco has
Brought to you by Manscaped. So go check
right.
out manscaped.com.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was just it's like the Sebastian Maniscalco bit about how back in the day you would love company, people coming over, but now you're like, all right, you go over there. It's like
Get out.
Get down, get down. All right. So that was scary. These days with me on the internet, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So swatting, all this shit going on, I'm scared.
You're gonna get swatted, but they're gonna go to Pat's apartment.
Frank Pellegrino's at the door. Oh wait, no, I'm not allowed to mention his name because he's not a public figure.
Yeah. And trust me, you don't want to deal with the wrath of Frank Pellegrino. Next thing you know, there's 35 memes online and links, and he's pulling up shit. He's making stuff up. It's just it's a nightmare. Anyways,
Steel Toe is at the door. He wants you to lay off the dogs.
Is it me or does Tony look a lot younger today?
I
mean,
The
he looks
lighting.
like he looks like he's in his mid-20s.
I'm a
I
young gentleman.
I think he's just
Very
using
dapper.
moisturizer.
It's Calgon.
Calgon. By the way, just for the heads up, I don't even think I mentioned Ken's not here right now, but he's coming. He's on his way. Ken's in traffic, so we decided to fire this thing up without him, get this thing rolling, and boy, are we off to a great start. The momentum is just going, dude.
Well, we could start with the picks, and then then Ken can just update us because I'm sure he's already probably poured through his decisions what we can do. And we can kind of talk about some of these early games here. Because these are the Saturday games. We're now at the point in the schedule where we're doing Saturday games because there's no college football. So
Yeah, and there's because the Browns are playing on Saturday. You're playing the former Browns.
that's
In
right.
Cleveland.
The actual Browns, the ones that went to Baltimore and changed their names and said these imposters the last 22 years.
Well, let's get it going with the Thursday night game. We'll get Ken's picks, Tony, if you can email them to him or write them down. Or
Sure.
right now, guess what? Gladwell, Tony's the commissioner. He's the what's the backup commissioner's name?
Look at me.
The interim commissioner.
I'm the captain now.
You're the interim. Okay, that's good. I like it.
I'm like when Adam Silver was like the lackey under David Stern for all those years.
That's true. That's a good analogy. And then he takes over and just turns the whole league into a woke league.
God.
Yeah. All right, let's get this thing rolling, guys. Thursday night, December 15th, we got Dan Soder's 49ers versus Craig Gass's Seattle Seahawks. We have Seahawks. They're at Seahawks. And the 49ers giving up -3. And boy, did they come down with a beatdown on Gladwell Ape's Bucks last week. Gladwell, what do you think?
Let me tell you something. Nothing brought a bigger smile to my face than watching Tom Brady shit the bed in his own hometown. Because that is who that guy is. You know what? If he would have started his career with the Bucks, with an offensive line like that, would there still be a conversation about him being the GOAT? I mean, for the years he was with New England, he didn't take a pay increase. He didn't go to another team for more money. He said put the money back into the team to keep the team good because he knew he was a shit quarterback.
So I've been going back and forth with Gladwell on this for a while, Tony. What do you think of Gladwell's take on this?
I mean, I think it was a very good situation with Belichick and Brady because you remember Bill Belichick was a head coach for, he was with the Browns for about 5 years and really wasn't that good of a coach and ends up kind of going, there was a whole Jets situation and then he takes the job and then he leaves like a couple hours later and goes to New England. But remember before then, they were an okay team. New England was an okay team. And then all of a sudden something clicked. So what you're doing is you're seeing now that they really needed each other. They truly needed each other. Now, I think Brady, as far as talent, because Belichick is a good coach, but I think Bill Belichick would be a good, solid NFL coach if it wasn't for Tom Brady. And I think without Bill Belichick, Tom Brady would probably be a solid quarterback, but not the Hall of Famer and not the quote unquote GOAT that everybody says he is.
Oh, wow. So you agree with Gladwell?
In a way, but I think more so, I mean, he did win that championship because, well, and they were good. They were well coached. Tampa Bay was better coached under Arians than they are with Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a bum. He's a very good coordinator, very bad head coach. And you're seeing that right now.
Yeah, I don't see. Well, I see Tom Brady leaving after this year. There's no way he sticks around, even though he ruined his marriage.
I think Todd Bowles goes away, and then Tom Brady stays.
Yeah, it's one of the two and that was Bruce Arians' guy. That was his pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously a diversity pick. Let's just get that out of the way.
Rooney Rule, yes.
Yeah. So, well, let's go with the pick here. Like I said, they're giving up -3. Gladwell, what do you got on this one?
I'll tell you what, Purdy looked good, but I think that's because nobody has seen any tape on him. So once they figure him out, although he does have a good line protecting him, but I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Seahawks. Tony Mazer from the Check Your Brain podcast, which you could sign up for on Patreon.
Oh, I'm definitely going San Francisco because that defense just, from what I saw the other day, Carolina took it to Seattle, and I think Seattle's finally coming back to earth. The Geno Smith thing, that was a nice little run for a little bit, but we're kind of came back to earth and to reality. San Francisco, as I said last week, Purdy doesn't have to do too much. Now they don't have Deebo Samuel. He has his ankle injury, but Christian McCaffrey is kind of that dual threat in the backfield and to pass. I don't really think he needs to do too much. He just basically has to let that defense just swallow up and keep Seattle's points down. So if it's only 3 or 3.5, I'm going to go with San Francisco here.
No, Purdy he stepped in well. He played well. If he keeps it going, I think they'll be fine. I'm taking 49ers. The Seahawks defense has fallen apart in recent weeks, and I think it's a sure lock. The 49ers are going to win. I don't know if they're going to win big, but they're going to win. So that's your pick for Thursday night, December 15th. Let's go into Saturday, like Tony mentioned earlier. Saturday night games are here. We're doing it December 17th. We got Bob and Tom's Indianapolis Colts versus Nick Swartzen's Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota with the Minnesota and the steel toe faggot.
I don't think that guy's that bad, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Steel toe guy. They put out a quality product. I mean, what else you want? They're trying. They're trying. You're trying. I don't see the harm. But go ahead.
How about a hand for Switzerland over here? They're giving up -4. And ladies and gentlemen, joining the program
Who's
from
-4?
assignment, we have Ken Mosca.
Hey guys,
Look at this guy. He's a reporter.
I am a reporter. I'm a businessman. I had meetings. Things tend to run long. Sorry, I'm late. How far along are you?
We're going into the second game. We stalled.
Let me do Ken a solid here. Ken, you had a busy day. I want to take a little bit off your plate. Can you put us both down for Detroit right now? That way we don't even have to think about it. We're both taking the Lions.
I'm going to mark that down right now, Gladwell.
So you don't have to think about that one, Ken. We're good.
Ken, you look like you work for the Daily Bugle.
Yeah. Where's Kent?
Can you put like a thing that says press in your hat? Like
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, right. All right, so you guys did San Francisco at Seattle?
Tony,
yes.
he was playing interim commissioner. He was the backup commissioner. So
Chad and I had San Francisco, Gladwell, and Seattle.
All right, so let me so Chad had San Francisco, Tony had San Francisco, Gladwell had who?
Seahawks.
Seattle.
And I'm taking San Francisco. It's -3.
-3. Now we're rolling into the Saturday night game. Saturday night, December 17th. The Colts versus the Vikings. Vikings are giving up -4. And since Gladwell thinks Steel Toe puts out a pretty solid product, what do you think?
You know what? Steel Toe's doing a good job this week, so I got to go with the Vikings and stay with the home team. You know, I mean, if the Mud Sharks are playing, maybe it would be I'd have to think about it, but I'm going Vikings.
Tony Mazer. Sorry, by the way, say you got demoted from commissioner, Tony.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's a story of my life, I guess.
How was it? I mean, as being commissioner for 5 minutes.
It was nice, but I'm going to donate the proceeds to Ashley LaRue in her book sales to make
Get those
sure that.
get those
hard,
kids.
Tony.
I'm going to dedicate this game to Ashley and Balin LaRue. I think that is his last name. I'm going to say Minnesota wins in this one.
You know what? Again, let's go with the LaRue family. They probably are diehard fans. Go pick up Ashley LaRue's books.
They have 4 kids to feed.
Yeah, for the holidays. We're doing Tony and I are doing a solid. People are saying, "Oh, leave the kids out of this." I don't know what's so wrong with saying, "Hey, go buy her books so she can provide for her kids." I'm not saying anything bad about the kids. What did I say bad about the kids?
Table.
Food on the table. Come on. So yeah, put me down for Minnesota and let's keep the ball rolling. We got a 4:30 game. We got Ryan Sickler's Baltimore Ravens versus Tony Mazur's
Wait.
Cleveland.
Do we get the pick? I didn't pick.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, so Tony's taking the Vikings.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Vikings as well. Okay, go ahead.
Ken, our chemistry's off since we didn't start the program.
Yeah.
So
cut
I'm
this
out
part
making
out.
the bucks. Out making the big bucks today.
Ken's on the pay no mind list. Just take notes there, Ken, and keep your mouth shut. All right.
this train is rolling. This train is rolling. We're in First Energy Stadium, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland's given up -3. Tony, weigh in on this one.
Yeah, this one's interesting because I think Ravens are going to be without their first 2 quarterbacks. So they're going to have to go to the ground game. They're going to go with J.K. Dobbins, and I don't know. I mean, the Browns still can't stop the run, but they're also facing a way decimated Baltimore team. I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. It's just I mean, the Browns can show some flashes if they need to, but they're not a good team. They're still shaking off the rust, all that kind of garbage and everything. But you're basically it's 2 mediocre teams on Saturday night to watch this game. So I'm going to go with the Browns out of principle.
Well, I'm not impressed with Deshaun Watson. Nothing I've seen out of him. He hasn't been that good, which is a concern. The Ravens are playing consecutive road games, which is tough. But I have a feeling they're going to win the game, but by 1. So with that being said, I'm going Browns and with the 3. Tony, or not Tony, Ken.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm taking the Ravens. I have no faith in this pick. As Tony said, their top 2 quarterbacks are out. But this is a game that they absolutely cannot lose. And 3, I can't believe it opened at 2.5. I'm taking the Ravens. I'll take the Ravens and the 3.
Gladwell Ape.
All right. This one I don't know about, but Ken looks smart in that outfit. And
You're
you
an
2
asshole.
dopes. I don't know who to trust on either one of you. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm sticking with the smart guy.
It's because he looks smart.
Hey, I'm in first place.
That's true. You know what? This Ken is in first place. So
First, you can make fun of me all you want.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying you look smart. You got the tie on.
Yeah, I'm dressed for it.
I'm going to go with you or a guy with a Footy Stop t-shirt.
you're going with the guy.
Wait a second. I have an in hot water hoodie right now. So
That's even worse. Now I'm going to pick everything against Tony.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We got 8:15 game. We got the Miami Dolphins, the Florentine family Miami Dolphins versus Josh Potter's Buffalo Bills and Cardiff Electric's Buffalo Bills, if you want to get technical. Buffalo's given up -7.5 at home, Tony Mazur.
Yeah, this is another concerning game when it comes to the weather, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Now, the last time they moved it to Detroit to play that game. This one's going to be interesting. The Dolphins I watched that game the other night. They really underachieved. They played this hype up of, the Penguin and the Cheetah. It's Hill and Waddle. And they did virtually nothing in this game. I mean, their one touchdown they had was one of the touchdowns was a fluky play. So I got to go Buffalo. I'm going to say they keep it going. As much as I like Tua, I like what he's capable of. I just see the Dolphins kind of stumbling as they're heading down to the home stretch. And I think the Bills are just getting stronger right now. And you're playing in mid to late December. This is perfect time for Buffalo.
Commissioner.
Same deal. I'm going with the Bills. Miami really looked bad. Tua Tagovailoa looked terrible as well. Both Both are 6 and 7 against the spread. Doesn't mean anything. It's gonna be ice cold there. Tagliabue is not gonna want to get hit. So I'm Bills, and I'll lay that 7.5. Let the ape eat that up.
Yeah, the Bills. Yeah, they lost to Miami in the first meeting. They haven't looked that great the last couple of games. The Dolphins. I'm rooting for the Dolphins, but I think the Bills win big because they know how to play in the mud like the mud shark. Right, Gladwell Ape? What do you got?
Speaking of mud sharks, I'm taking the Dolphins because there's nothing that Florida people like more than cold weather. We crave it. We look for it. We don't get enough of it. And I just heard a podcast with Rob Gronkowski today, and he said that he would rather play in 20-degree weather than 95-degree weather. He said because the heat takes it out of you. So these guys are waiting for that cold weather. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
Why didn't Gronk come back? What happened? He just was done?
I have no idea.
He had nothing left in the tank. I mean, he retired and he came back because Brady went to Tampa. But then he caught 2 touchdowns in that Super Bowl, but he was done.
Well,
Yeah.
he has a broken hip or something every season. So, I mean, you probably get tired of that too.
Yeah, and plus he won one down here and he won one in New England. So he's like, what the fuck am I doing? Let me go golf and dick around.
He won 3 in New England.
Yeah, so he's like, that's a good career. Let's get out of here before I get CTE and kill my family. Ken, we got everybody got their
Yeah,
picks?
we're good. We're at Philadelphia at Chicago Bears. 1:00 game.
Soldier Field. And Eagles are giving up -9. Tony, Mazer.
Well,
what do
you know what? I think this what Jalen Hurts has done this year is proving all the jigaboos wrong.
Jesus.
Did you see that what RG3 said the other day? That's a context for anybody who wants to cancel me from any jobs.
Yeah.
Is that a medical term though, or?
Well, yeah, it's like mud
Right.
shark.
All right.
We're going with 9 points, right?
Yeah, it's 9. Yeah, it opened at 7.5.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears are a bad team. They're just basically a quarterback and no one else, and they've kind of taken pieces and parts from it. That's a lot of points, but I think I hate doing this, but I think I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to say they win by maybe 2 touchdowns. It's a lot of points, but the Bears and it's the Bears at home, but Eagles play in similar climate as well. So I don't think there's going to be too much of a drop off when it comes to that. So I'm going to go Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Bears are coming off a bye while the Eagles are playing the second straight road game, but that's not going to matter. The Eagles offense is rolling. It's rolling, and it'll keep rolling all through Chicago. Look for Jalen Hurts to continue his MVP push. And I'm telling you right now, Justin Fields doesn't have it in the tank. I'm going Eagles big time, big win, covering the spread. Commissioner.
The big brain Chad. I'm going with everything that Dr. Z just said. I'm taking the Eagles. Chad did a little bit of research there. Holy shit. I'm taking the Eagles.
I had a little panic. I wasn't sure if you were going to be on time. So
I'm sorry.
that's all. No, it's all good. It's Gladwell Ape, close it out.
I'm following suit with my man Ken. I'm taking the Z-Man's lead, taking the Eagles -9. You know why?
Why?
Because Ken looks smart enough to take good advice. So I'm following that guy.
All right, let's keep the good advice going. We got another 1:00 game. We got Atlanta Falcons. Jason Tebow, who was fantastic last week on the podcast, his Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. I think Mark Norman's New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. I got kicked out of his bachelor party. Long story. We'll talk about it some other time. But it's -4. It's -4. Gladwell Ape, what do you think?
Who's -4?
Saints.
The Saints.
I'll tell you what. I will take the Saints -4 because Jameis Winston is not playing. Correct?
That's correct.
All right. For that fact, Jameis Winston is out. I will take the Saints, and also that I agree 100% with Mark Norman for throwing Chad out on his ass at that club because I was there that day. I saw the whole thing go down. I'm surprised he didn't get thrown out sooner. By the way.
Yeah. Were you there when the cops handcuffed me?
I was there when you dragged mud all through the club, and Brian was getting pissed off. He just swept the place.
Yeah.
So
Mike Kelta brought a gun too. It was a whole.
Chad, what's more embellished, that story or the fact that you put your head through a TV and had to get walked out on a stretcher at the Robin Hood?
They're neck and neck. They're literally, they've both taken lives of their own on, and let's see how far it can go. Let's just keep going with it. Anyways, Ken Mosca, what do you got on this one?
Taking Atlanta in those 4 points.
Yeah, I'm going with Atlanta as well. This is not a good football game.
Let's keep it going I'm going Atlanta too. Let's keep the good advice going.
Chad, I think it's just you and me on this one with this next game because I think the decisions have already been made by half the panel.
Are you talking about the 1:00 game? Dave Landau's Detroit Lions versus the New York Jets not technically New York, but it's a pick'em.
At the Ghetto Lands.
I didn't even know they were playing the Jets. The Jets are the worst. The Jets can't. If you pick them, they lose. If you don't pick them, they win. So the Lions are a lock. So if you guys, let's just put all 4 of us down for the Lions.
I was going to anyways. Yeah.
All right, Gladwell, where you at? Can you?
Oh, listen. What do I say every week? Every week I say, like our friend Gladwell Ape says, the Lions always cover. So I'm taking Detroit.
That's the first time in the history of the RackMe podcast that one guy picked all our picks. He's like, just put us all down.
You're welcome.
And what spread are you showing? I'm showing.
I got to pick them.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em. It started out as Detroit getting a point, Gladwell. Now it's a pick 'em. Everyone knows Detroit covers.
This is the one game they don't cover.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling. We got Earl Skakel's Pittsburgh Steelers versus Johnny Ward's Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Carolina's getting a -2.5. Tony, since you're close by to Pittsburgh, what do you think?
Well, as much as I wanted to do this, because I already picked the Browns for this man, and then the other man with the glasses, and Donnie Iris.
These are legendary. This is Michael Stanley from Cleveland, and that's Donnie Iris from Pittsburgh. And maybe, Ken, you might know the songs. Even you, Gladwell. What's Donnie Iris's big tunes?
Donnie
Iris big tune. If I Were a Rich Man.
Isn't it?
What's the song?
That's Tony, Fiddler on the Roof.
That's what I was going to say.
The big one was Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
And love is like a rock. That's the other Donnie Iris song. He's celebrating his 80th birthday, and I'm going to go to his celebration next year. But I cannot, in good conscience, pick the Steelers. They're not going to be with. I think Trubisky starting for them because Pickett's in concussion protocol, I believe. Mm-hmm. They didn't look all that good the other day, anyways. But yeah, Trubisky's he's become a backup quarterback. That's all he is right now. And the Panthers have actually turned things around after the whole Baker situation. They fire Matt Rule. They bring in Steve Wilkes, who's Steve Wilkes is another guy they're just going to use as the coordinator who's in line. Like, that's what they do with Steve Wilkes, is they're going to do this where they'll hire him as a defensive coordinator on a bad team where if they fire the head coach, he just slides right into becoming the head coach. It's just going to be a great gig for him. So I'm going to go with Carolina. They actually did a very good job against Seattle the other day. Just really took it to them.
Yeah, they're leaning on the defense. The running game is winning. They're going to run right through Carolina. Carolina's run game will win this game, and they'll win, Commissioner.
I'll tell you what, man. Chad, look at Chad reading those NFL capsules on his computer there. So I'm going to go with Chad's summary. I'm taking the Panthers.
I read notes.
Yes, you do.
Gladwell.
All right. You're all taking the Panthers, huh? I'm going to go with I'm going to say the Steelers lose by 3. So I'm going to take them. Oh, no. I don't know. All I know is that Tony picked the Panthers and he's wearing an in hot water t-shirt or hoodie. So I'm taking the Steelers.
This guy gets it.
I like how you feel these wins. You feel it. Okay, we got a 1:00 game. We got Ken Mosca's Dallas Cowboys versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in Florida, and Cowboys giving up -4, Commissioner.
Yeah, -4. And let's just look at that 98-yard drive at the end of the game for Dallas to win. Let's not look at the rest of the 58 minutes. Let's look at the last 2 minutes and that drive. Look, Dallas is banged up too. They're missing some guys. And Jacksonville's playing much better. Dallas is going to win. I think they're pissed as well. They're going to win and they're going to cover. Might just be 6 or 7, but they're going to cover. So I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Gladwell Ape.
All right. Like I said, Ken's looking pretty sharp today. I've taken the Cowboys. The Jaguars, I don't know what they're doing this season. I don't even know if they're wearing matching uniforms anymore. But I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to put up some points, but I think the Cowboys will win, but I don't think they'll cover. That's just where I'm going with this one.
You're taking the Jags. Wow.
Yeah, I got to pull ahead somehow with you. I can't just keep picking your picks. I got to take a chance. Tony, what do you got?
I was kind of surprised at -4 because I know Dallas barely hung on against Houston, but I think Dallas is also just I don't know if they're toying around or experimenting before the playoffs. And I know Jacksonville won the other day, but I got to go Dallas in this one. It's just -4. It just seems like nothing. I would have thought this closer to 7, so I'm going Dallas.
Did we get all the picks in?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans in Texas. Kansas City's giving up -14. That's a lot of points, but Texas looks horrific. Gladwell, what do you have?
You got to go with the Chiefs all day long. Because I'll tell you what, unlike Tom Brady, this kid looks like he might actually be an actual GOAT. Mahomes.
All right.
So I'm going Chiefs.
Tony Mazer.
That's a lot of points. And I got burned on that last week with Houston, Dallas. So I'm gonna go Houston. Although I don't think Houston has any chance of winning this game. But I'm gonna go Houston just because that 14-point spread is a lot.
Commissioner.
Yeah, me too. I'm going Texans. After what they showed me last week with the dueling quarterbacks too. Got the running quarterback and then the throwing quarterback. I want to see them put up as big a fight with Kansas City as they did with Dallas. But yeah, that's a lot of points. I'm with Tony. I'm taking Houston.
Well, put me down 2 for the Texans. They're obviously not going to win, but this one, like Tony said, this could fuck you up if you're doing the betting. So let's just go with that. Let's keep the ball rolling. We got the Arizona Cardinals versus Brent Tobler's Denver Broncos in Mile High. Denver's giving up -3. Commissioner.
This game is so bad. I'd rather go to the proctologist than watch this game. Murray got hurt. How'd you like Murray getting hurt, non-contact, torn ACL on natural grass? And the players this season, more than memory, serves me, is that they're all, screaming for natural grass. And this happened on natural grass, non-contact ACL injury. So it doesn't matter where the fuck they play, what surface they play on. It doesn't matter. But, with the Colt McCoy, quarterback for Arizona,
Yep.
Former Browns
Denver's got to show something sometime. I'm taking it's 3 points. I'm taking Denver, and I'll lay the 3 points.
Like I've always said, Tony, never bet against Colt McCoy ever, because he'll make you pay.
Yeah, especially if you're James Harrison and God, this game sucks. I mean, I'll ask the panel, would you rather watch this game or In Hot Water?
Ooh, this game.
or the wet spot?
I'd rather watch Ken's colonoscopy.
I would.
Would you rather watch Steel Toe in the morning?
Well, that's a fine product there. I mean, so
I'm going Denver just because it's I just defer to the home team when it comes to games I can't take and can't watch.
Commissioner.
Yeah, I told you I'm taking Denver.
Gladwell Ape.
I'll do Cardinals.
All right, just because I'm going Denver, just because I want to play Gladwell's game now.
All right.
Go the opposite. And pick who's next. Here we go. As I refresh, as I lost my fucking where are we at, Ken? I lost my window.
New England at 4:00 game, New England at Las Vegas Raiders. I show it as a pick 'em.
I have that too. Whew. Well, lead it off, Commissioner. What do you got? What do you think?
I keep thinking the Raiders are going to show more consistency. They've been so up and down. Then they had those 3 straight weeks in a row. They look good. It's another 2 straight away games for New England. Did they stay out west? They were just in Arizona. Did they stay out west or did they come back east? That would be good to know. I want to take the Patriots. I can't. I'm going to take the Raiders.
Tony.
I'm picking New England. I like their win that they had the other day. I think the Raiders are just the Raiders are just a strange team because it seemed like they're just starting to crank things up a couple of weeks ago, going like, hey, maybe they're turning it around. Yes. But I'm going to go with a little bit more of a sort of proven product in New England. I know they're not the same team. They're not the greatest team, but I don't know if they've crossed the time zones and recrossing again, but I'm going New England in this game.
Well, I'm telling you right now, this is the game of the week for me. This is the pick of the week. You're not going to want to miss this game. Mac Jones showed us a lot last week against the Cardinals, and I think he's going to keep the momentum going, and Patriots win big. That's the Zumock pick of the week. That's Gino's picks right there.
Well, you might as well put me down for the Raiders right now then.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We got 425. We got Nate Bargatze's Tennessee Titans versus Gino Bisconte's Los Angeles Chargers in LA. My man, we got -3. -3 LA. Tony.
God, 2 7-6 teams. I don't know. Justin Herbert actually has been showing a lot more poise, and he's staying in the pocket. He's throwing across the field. He's doing a lot of things that he did in his rookie year that were kind of like, whoa, like he can't keep that up, and he didn't in year 2. But as much as the Titans really disappointed me, I'm going to say they hit 500 this week, and I say the Chargers win. I say they get their 8th win this. As much as I hate saying it, but I think the Chargers are starting to figure it out a little bit in that conference.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are going to win it all. I'm going to pray to God they lose, so Gino's week's ruined. But they're going to win. They're going to win big. I'm going LA, Gladwell.
I'm gonna use your sentiments exactly. Chargers. But I hope they break Gino's heart.
Yeah. Commissioner, who did you get?
Yeah, I took the Chargers. You know, like what Tony said, they're playing so well right now. Herbert's playing so well. I see them winning and covering. Titans, I don't know what Tannehill is anymore.
Well, we got 3 more games left, and we're going to go to 425. We're going to go to the Josh Snead Cincinnati Bengals versus Gladwell Apes Tampa Bay Buccaneers right here in Raymond James Stadium. Me and Gladwell, we were at Mike Calta's tailgate last Monday, enjoying some free Bud Light and food, and we had a nice time. And what do you think?
Do they have any bowl games down there in the Tampa area anymore?
The Outback Bowl, and I think we still have FAMU and Bethune-Cookman too.
Is that I'm looking it up here? Oh, the ReliaQuest Bowl. So is that the new Outback Bowl?
I have no idea.
In Tampa, Florida.
I live across the street from an Outback steakhouse.
Is that on Dale Mabry?
I will say this, at that Calta's tailgate party, Chad had a couple of women chasing him around there.
Uh-oh.
That black girl with the green eyes at the pulled pork station.
Oh yeah.
And the girl serving up the Bud Lights.
Yeah, she was chatty Cathy. I don't know if there's anything going on there, but
did they pull your pork?
Hey, kids are going to be watching this.
The Gasparilla Bowl.
Where's
Missouri
that at?
versus Wake Forest. Wow, that's a barn burner.
What about the Carrollwood Bowl? I don't know. So, Gladwell, what do you think? They lost big time against the 49ers. Now Cincinnati's giving up -3.5. Where do you stand on this one?
Taking the Bengals all day long because Brady's going to come back. He's going to be upset. He's still crying. He's washed up. He's exposed for what he is, a shit quarterback that just happened to have a good team and a good coach for a long time. But now when you get an average team, this is what you are. You're an average quarterback. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Ooh, tough criticism. Listen, we're shitting on our quarterback, so I understand. Commissioner, what about you? I'm very
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know, listen, Cincinnati's going to score a lot of points. Tampa Bay can't keep up with them. And Brady just can't make certain throws anymore. You saw what happened last week. He was just throwing behind receivers, throwing the ball into the ground. Couldn't even throw a back shoulder. A couple times they did get down close to the end zone. He couldn't even throw a back shoulder. So I think Cincinnati is going to roll them. And he'll be Brady will be quarterback in his hometown 49ers next year. Book it.
Ooh, more of a
RackMe.
prediction.
Wow.
Rack
RackMe.
that. Put your money.
I'm
Put
taking
your money
Cincy.
down.
Uh,
Who'd Tony take?
I'm going to take the Bengals because I was looking at Burrow the other day, and for a guy who's been sacked as many times and having an offensive line that's been in flux, and he's had his very almost career-threatening injury he had a couple of years ago in his rookie season, he really is Joe Cool back there. He's so just relaxed in the pocket. And he just lets things kind of develop, and he's got his receivers, he's got his people around him to make it happen. So I'm definitely going Cincinnati here.
Even though Cincinnati has some big injuries going into this game, Tampa has appeared lifeless on offense the entire month. I can't believe I'm going Bengals. The Battle of I-71 last week. But that's where we're at. We got two more games. We got Lenny Marcus's New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins in Washington. Washington Redskins are giving up -4.5. Tony Mazer.
Yeah, I'm going to go Washington. I really enjoy what Taylor Heineke is doing with this team, and Giants have come back to earth. The good divisional matchup. I'm definitely going to Washington in this one. So it's weird to think at the beginning of the season we're talking about Washington in key primetime games for a wild card.
Plus, they're coming off a bye week, so they're well rested. They're rocking. I'm going to go with the Redskins too. Ken?
Yeah, I'm going Redskins because Wentz has been activated and he'll be backing up Heineke. So I'm taking the Redskins.
That's funny. Gladwell Ape, close it out.
I'll tell you what, I'm drinking all that fire water you guys are pouring, so I'm going to take the Redskins too.
Fire water.
We're selling it if you're buying. All right, last game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kate Quigley's Los Angeles Rams versus the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. Green Bay's given up -7. Holy shit, we were talking about it before the game. Baker Mayfield with an unbelievable debut. He had 2 days to prepare, didn't know the playbook, but he used his quarterback instincts to go downfield. He's going to be the starting quarterback. Tony, what do you think?
Well, the last time Baker played in Green Bay in Lambeau in December, which was last year, he spent the whole time, instead of looking at his playbook, he was playing video games the whole time and threw like 4 interceptions. It looked really terrible. Yeah, Green Bay -7. I'm still going Green Bay in this one. I can't see them losing to this game. I mean, it was a nice story seeing Baker kind of come back and lead them down the field, but they were also playing the Raiders. They weren't really playing a great opponent. And not that Green Bay has played that well this year, but I really can't see him doing the same thing to Green Bay here. So I'm going with the Packers.
Ken, I'm going to go to you, and then I'm going to close it out with Gladwell, and then I'm going to give my pick.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one, Chad, because I think Aaron Darnold, whatever his name is, he's not playing. Defensive lineman, is he out? I mean, I think he's missed a practice this week. He was banged up, but I'm buying Baker Mayfield. I really am, and I'm buying them. I think Green Bay is a hot mess, and I'm going to take the points. I'm not saying Green Bay won't win, but I don't think they're going to cover. So I'm going to take the Rams, and I'm going to take that 7.
Who would have thought going into this season when they were undecided what was going to happen? Was Tom Brady? He already retired. What's happening with Aaron Rodgers? He's going to leave Green Bay. They both come back, the quote unquote GOATs, and their teams are just shit in the bed. And then you got this guy, this underdog, Baker Mayfield, coming into town, leading them. There's going to be so much more momentum going into this game. I'm going with the hot hand, Baker Mayfield. Mark it down. What do you got, Gladwell?
All right. Well, let me tell you something. Baker Mayfield, that was a tremendous story. That comeback, a minute 30, pinned down on the 2-yard line. He came 98 yards with no timeouts to win the game.
And he was also going through chemotherapy. No one's talking about it.
Well, here's my that was a great story. But the story that nobody's talking about is what a piece of shit that quarterback must have felt like that said you'd rather go with a guy that doesn't even know how to find the stadium instead of putting me in the game.
Like, didn't he get lost? He got lost?
Yeah, he couldn't find the locker room after the game. But the quarterback was like, I spent all training camp, I know everything, and you only put me in for one series. You really go with this guy. So I feel bad for him. That being said, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
All right. Well, there it is. Week 14 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. You could always support the show. Sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/RackMe. We got the picks in. Who's leading the charge? Who's the winner here in the so far? The leaders board.
I'll go to the leaderboard right now. I am leading with 110. 115. I have 115. Dr. Z with 102. Dan Florentine with 101. Gary Coe 103. Ryan Z 107. Steve Bonapane 102.
You see where Tony Mazur's at, please.
I think I'm second to last, right?
Tony Mazur is at 97. Now, I think we may have lost Randy.
About my IQ.
Yeah, we may have lost Randy. He hasn't submitted anything the last couple of weeks.
Well, we did that. I mean, that sometimes when you feel like you're out of it, you're out of it. But it seems like the race is close. Anybody could still win any given Sunday. So get your picks in on time, guys. And let's go around with plugs. Gladwell, you still have a Patreon?
No, not really.
Okay. Trying to make you some money here, but that's fine.
Almost nowhere podcast. We put out shows every sporadic week.
Every sporadic week.
So,
shout out Johnny Nine Lives. Tony Mazur, do you still have a Patreon?
I do. I would prefer if you spend your money on Ashley LaRue's books, but if you do so choose, please go to patreon.com/Tony Mazur and you'll get about 4 podcasts per week from me.
Yeah, including you want to listen to Mondays with Mazur. I thought Tony and I did a beautiful job celebrating my victory over Steel Toe. It was a beatdown. It had to have hurt because he's ran through the hills. Me and Tony, we spent a lot of time with our girl Ashley LaRue and her books. Go pick up one of her children's books. Support that family around Christmas. She's got 4 kids to feed. Even though what's the husband's name?
Oh, that's Balin.
Balin. Even though Balin's a full-time guy, he's out there. He's a blue-collar guy. Ashley got a lot on her plate too, being a published author. Ken, what about you?
I just want to know about my nickname that Brian P. McCarthy may or may not have had for me. Tony Mazur.
Did he not have one for you?
No.
Because I thought he always tried to come up with like a really bad one for every time when you guys would do the Ring of Honor.
Not that I recall. Not that I recall. But thanks for thinking of me, and
Yeah, I was trying to think. I'm like, because it used to be whenever they would start to name off the Ring of Honor, and then he'd be the Gladwell Ape monkeying around bit every single fucking week.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, did Ken ever have one? And I was trying to remember, but that's an eternity ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I don't think about those things anymore.
You like to move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a forward thinker, Chad.
Not me. Living in the past here.
Living in the past. My best years yet. It's all downhill after this.
Good to see you, Ape.
Yes.
Good to see you too, Ken. And
for Gladwell Ape, Tony, Ken Mosca, I am the Z-Man. That's a wrap. Count the troops. Good night.